This week I am focused on the kiddos and have two projects designed especially for them. The first one is this super cute toddler rocker elephant. And the second one is a really fun self-walking kangaroo. While I don't have kids, my newest nephew will hopefully love the elephant rocker, and the self-walking kangaroo is an easy thing to pack for any gathering where the little ones will need some entertainment. Let's go ahead and get into how I built them. Let's go ahead and start with the elephant rocker. This one is sized to fit a 1 to 3-year-old, and I started off by sketching out the elephant in my 3D modeling software called SketchUp. In the program, you can import in a vector or an image and trace it and then refine it from there. Just keep that in mind if you would like to do a different animal shape for the body of yours. After refining the shape, I used my CNC to cut out templates for the different parts. In addition to the main body outline, the template also has some locating holes because I'll be using dowels to help locate each part correctly on the elephant's body. So I first used a drill bit in my drill to punch these locating holes out. Now I can use some double-sided tape to stick the template to my 3/4 inch plywood and use a flush trim bit to cut the body out. Now I'm using plywood, but you could very well place the template on a solid wood as well and make everything thicker. After making a complete pass around the template, I used a shop chisel to pry the template off the top with a ply and then repeated for the other parts of the elephant. This part is the most time consuming, but you can cut down the time it takes if you want to stack two boards on top of one another so that you get 2 parts per one pass. Once all of the parts are cut out, I did a little bit of cleanup before moving on to assembly. Even though I'm using plywood that was already sanded on one side, I went over every face as well as the edge with my Triton Palm ROS. For the body, with all of its concave curves, I put in the second to largest spindle and used my Triton spindle sander to clean up the edges. Then, to soften the overall look, but also the feel for those cute little hands, I stuck a roundover bit in my router table and went over all of the edges. For this, I'm using the 1/4 inch Infinity roundover bit. And if you're curious, I used the Infinity Mega Flush trim bit for the pattern cutting. Now, of course, there are a million ways of finishing the rocker to make it adorable, but I decided to leave the body of the elephant as ply and paint the other parts. Note that I'm only painting the front side of any part that will be glued to the body. So the legs and ears have a raw back so to not interfere with the quality of bond when assembling the next step. Assembly is very simple. As I mentioned before, I used dowels to locate the parts exactly where they needed to go. This ensures the ears and bottom of the feet line up perfect with their pairing part. I would first cut a small piece of dowel that's just long enough to go through the body and stick part ways into the counter bore in the joining part. Use a mallet when needed to make sure that it sits flat. I'm using a fast setting wood glue on the back of each part. Then there are 2 ways of securing it. You can either use a brad nailer to hold it in place while the glue cures, or you can set it in clamps until dry.
That's horrible.
I went with using a brad nail, then just used a little putty and touch-up paint to fill in the tiny holes it leaves behind. Oh, and oh my goodness, how precious are these? Once the body was put together, I set it aside and started putting together the rocker. This is the only section where I use screws. I first put down some wood glue, then inserted the rocker slats. The fit is pretty tight, so I used a Bessie clamp to squeeze down on it and compress it into place. Then used a countersink and 2 screws. This is another area you can use putty and touch-up paint to cover things up afterwards if you'd like. Next, I flipped the whole thing over and centered the elephant to the center of the rocker. Then again, used a countersink and 2 screws to secure things. And that's it. My newest little nephew is too many states away to trial this out for me, but I was able to round up a toddler of a friend to give it a good sit and rockin'.
I ended up loving these so much. I actually got a little carried away and came up with a chicken rocker as well as a lion rocker. I can't determine which one is my favorite. I think all 3 are so cute. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which one is your favorite.
If you're interested in building your own, I do have templates available on my website. Okay, and moving on to project number 2. Look how cool this self-walking kangaroo is. I saw this on Instagram and was blown away by how it propels itself forward and was dying to try to replicate it. It is a little finicky to get it working correctly, but I do have a free download over on my website to help things out. I started by cutting out the paper template and using a little bit of spray adhesive to attach it to a 1x8 pine board. Again, you can use any wood of your choice here. Once the body and legs are in place, I used the miter saw to cut the board up into pieces so that I could stack them on top of each other and make multiples at the same time. After getting the length down, I ripped them over at the table saw, using the first one with the template on top to set up the cut. Next, I used some hot glue to temporarily stick all the leg pieces on top of each other, and the same with the body pieces, so that I could make one profile cut at the bandsaw, but end up with enough parts to make 3 little roos. Now, before taking apart the pieces, I cleaned up the shape over at the sanders, using the spindle sander to clean up all of the concave curves, and the belt sander turned upside down for the convex curves. Then it was over to the drill press to punch all the needed holes before prying the built-up layers apart. The legs pivot on the body by way of a dowel, and you want this to be a tad bit oversized from the dowel size you're using so that the legs will be able to move freely. I recommend having your dowel on hand when you're drilling these holes to test fit it and make sure that the part can easily spin. Well, here you can also punch through to make the eye hole and the hole in the heel. With everything cleaned up, next was assembling, which is pretty straightforward, but one thing to pay attention to is the dowel needs to be glued in place without gluing the legs down to the body. If the legs can't pivot freely, your roo won't walk. I would apply a little glue to the dowel, then I would apply a dab of glue to the inside of the leg hole, then place an overcut dowel inside. I would wipe off the excess glue if any came out, then place a washer over the dowel before applying a dab to the body hole and placing the dowel into the body. Next, another washer can be placed on the other side of the body, then the other leg can be threaded on, also with a small dab of glue in the leg hole. There is a second, much smaller hole near the heel of the roo, where a much smaller dowel needs to be glued into place. You can see I left it long on both sides at this point, and this small little wooden bar will be a stop block for the walking action. It's just going to limit how far forward the legs are able to move. After letting it dry, I tested it out. In order to work, the Kangaroo has to be placed on an incline, and the degree of this slope is something else to play around with. I grabbed some scrap boards and containers to make my ramp. If the ramp isn't steep enough, then the Kangaroo won't have enough forward momentum to keep the walking cycle going. However, if it's too steep, then it will just fall flat on its face. You'll see that after a practice run, I changed the height by a pencil's width, and that made all of the difference. So just play around with it. Maybe it would be fun for the kids to play with the different heights until it works, but to prevent them from having to fuss with it, I recommend building a simple ramp to accompany the roo. And that way, whenever they bring out one, they just bring out both. I'm not even a kid, but I think this toy is amazing. Okay, and I think that is going to wrap up this video. What do you think about these toys? I absolutely love them, but I would love to hear what you think about them in the comments section below. Don't forget that I do have templates for both over on my website, and that is also linked for you down below. So that's it for this one. I will see you on whatever I'm building next. It's my rooster. Tell me that's not cute.